The fluorescent lights of Harrison Biotech's main laboratory hummed overhead as I adjusted my microscope. 10 years of research, countless sleepless nights, and finally we were close. The cellular regeneration protocol I developed was showing unprecedented success rates. Dr. Harrison, my assistant Sarah knocked softly. Your parents are here with Marcus. I straightened up, removing my protective goggles. Marcus, my stepbrother of 2 years, whose greatest scientific achievement was managing not to blow up his high school chemistry lab. The lab's glass doors slid open. My father, Dr. James Harrison Sr., entered first, followed by my stepmother Patricia and her son Marcus. At 25, Marcus was 5 years my junior and had recently completed a bachelor's degree in business administration, hardly the qualification needed to understand advanced biotechnology research. Junior, my father began, his voice carrying that forced authority I'd grown familiar with since his remarriage. We need to discuss the future of Harrison Biotech. I gestured to my current experiment. Can it wait? We're in the middle of a crucial trial phase. That's actually why we're here, Patricia interjected, her perfectly manicured hand resting on Marcus's shoulder. The board feels the lab needs fresh perspective. I caught Dr. Winters, my lead researcher, watching from her station. Her face showed concern. She knew as well as I did that we were weeks away from announcing a breakthrough that could revolutionize regenerative medicine. Fresh perspective. I kept my voice neutral though my stomach tightened. We're leading 3 major NIH grants, our papers are being published in Nature and Cell, and our patents are under Harrison Biotech's ownership, my father interrupted. The company your grandfather and I built. I bit back a response. My grandfather had indeed founded Harrison Biotech, but it was my research that had transformed it from a small pharmaceutical testing facility into a cutting-edge regenerative medicine laboratory. Marcus has completed an executive training program, Patricia announced proudly. He's ready to take over administrative duties. Administrative duties, I echoed. This is a research facility, not at the board has already approved the transition. My father cut in. Marcus will assume the role of executive director. You'll report to him on all operational matters. The absurdity of the situation would have been comical if it weren't so dangerous. Marcus, who couldn't tell a protein marker from a protein shake, would be overseeing groundbreaking genetic research. And my current position? I asked, though I already knew the answer. You'll be head of research, Patricia said sweetly. Focusing on what you do best, the science stuff. Marcus will handle the important decisions. Important decisions, like the allocation of research funds, like which projects to prioritize, like whether to continue our current breakthrough work or pivot to more immediately profitable ventures. When does this take effect? I kept my voice steady. Immediately, my father replied. Marcus will take your office today. We've already had IT transfer access to the main systems. I nodded slowly, then turned to my computer. With a few keystrokes, I activated a protocol I'd hoped never to use. Interesting timing, I said, standing up. Given that the Nobel Committee is announcing the medicine prize in, I checked my watch, about 20 minutes. My father frowned. What does that have to do with everything? I interrupted. You see, while you were busy planning this coup, I was submitting our research findings, but not through Harrison Biotech. Patricia's smile faltered. What do you mean? The cellular regeneration protocol, the breakthrough you're so eager to put under Marcus's control. I developed it independently. The patents are in my name, through my private research foundation. That's impossible, my father sputtered. All research conducted here belongs to Harrison Biotech. Check again. For the past 2 years, I've been running parallel trials. Everything groundbreaking, everything revolutionary, was done through my own channels. Harrison Biotech has been handling the routine pharmaceutical work that pays the bills. Marcus, who had been admiring his new nameplate, looked up in confusion. But the board said, the board sees what I want them to see. Basic research, standard trials, nothing that would raise suspicion. The real work. I gestured to a sealed door at the back of the lab. That's all mine. My father's face reddened. You had no right. I had every right. When you married Patricia, I saw the writing on the wall. The way you started excluding me from board meetings. The way you began questioning my research priorities. So I protected my work. Dr. Winters approached, holding a tablet. Sir, the Stockholm feed is live. I turned the screen so everyone could see. The Nobel Committee was beginning their announcement. The Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for this year goes to Dr. William Harrison, Jr., for his groundbreaking discoveries in cellular regeneration. The silence in the lab was deafening. Congratulations are in order, Dr. Winters said, not bothering to hide her smile. Though I suppose Marcus won't be taking over the Nobel laureate's research after all. Patricia's face had gone pale. But the board will be very interested to learn that their new executive director has no access to the prize-winning research, I finished. In fact, they'll be fascinated to know that Harrison Biotech's most valuable assets aren't actually Harrison Biotech's at all. My father slumped into a chair. Why didn't you tell me? The same reason you didn't tell me about this little takeover attempt. Trust, once broken, doesn't easily recover. My phone began buzzing incessantly. Press inquiries, congratulatory messages, interview requests. The Nobel announcement was making waves. The press conference is in an hour, I said, gathering my things. I suggest you all clear out before the reporters arrive. It might be awkward explaining why the Nobel laureate was being demoted to make room for his stepbrother. You can't do this to us, Patricia hissed. This company is welcome to continue its pharmaceutical testing work, I cut in. But the regenerative medicine research, that's coming with me to my new facility. The one I've been quietly building for the past year. Marcus finally found his voice. But, my office. Keep it, I said. It'll give you somewhere to sit while you watch the Nobel ceremony on TV. Dr. Winters was already directing the research team to begin packing up our private lab equipment. Everything had been prepared for this moment. Transport containers, secure vehicles, new facility coordinates. The board will fight this, my father warned. The board will do what boards always do, follow the money, and right now, the money is following the Nobel Prize winner, not the family trying to steal his research. My phone buzzed again, a message from the university, where I held a research position. They were offering me a full department, complete autonomy, and unlimited funding. Dad, I said, softening slightly, you taught me that science is about discovery, about pushing boundaries, but somewhere along the way, you forgot that. You let family politics override scientific integrity. I was trying to secure the company's future, he protested. No, you were trying to please your new wife, by giving her son something he didn't earn. But science doesn't work that way. Discoveries don't care about family trees. The lab was buzzing with activity now, as my team efficiently packed up years of real research. The basic equipment, the facade we'd maintained, remained untouched. The press will be here soon, I reminded them. I suggest you decide on your story. Though we tried to demote a Nobel laureate, to install an unqualified stepbrother might not play well in the scientific community. Patricia grabbed Marcus's arm. Come on, we need to talk to the board before this gets out. As they hurried out, my father lingered. Your mother would be proud, he said quietly. She always said you were too smart for your own good. Mom also said to always have a backup plan. Consider this mine. Once they were gone, Dr. Winters approached. The team's ready. Transport's waiting in the underground garage. We can be set up in the new lab by tonight. I nodded, taking a final look around the space where I'd spent the last decade. Make sure everything's documented. I suspect there will be legal challenges. Already done. Every independent trial, every separate funding source, every patent application. It's all bulletproof. My phone buzzed yet again. The university president, offering to expedite the department transfer. The Nobel Committee, confirming travel arrangements for Stockholm. Science journals, requesting exclusive interviews. Sir? Sarah appeared with a stack of papers. The preliminary press releases, as prepared. And you might want to see this. She handed me a tablet showing Harrison Biotech's stock price. It was plummeting as news spread that their breakthrough research wasn't actually theirs. Should we make a statement about the company? She asked. I shook my head. They made their choice. Let them deal with the consequences. The sound of news vans, pulling up outside, filtered through the windows. Reporters, photographers, camera crews, all eager to interview the newest Nobel laureate. Dr. Winters, I called out. Is the team ready? She nodded. Everything valuable is secured. The basic lab equipment they tried to steal is all that's left. Then let's give the press what they want. A Nobel winner who protected his research from corporate interference. They'll love the David versus Goliath angle. As we prepared to face the media, I thought about the years of careful planning that had led to this moment. Every backup protocol, every secret trial, every protected patent, all because I'd seen the signs when my father remarried. When family loyalty became more important than scientific integrity, my phone buzzed one final time, a message from my old mentor at MIT. Your mother would have loved this, protecting the science while giving them exactly what they deserved. I smiled, straightening my lab coat. Outside, cameras flashed and reporters called my name. Inside, my carefully orchestrated plan had worked perfectly. They had tried to take my life's work and give it to someone who couldn't understand it. Instead, they had given me the perfect opportunity to reveal just how much they'd underestimated me. Time to face the press. After all, they'd want to know how a Nobel laureate outmaneuvered his own family to protect groundbreaking research. And I had quite a story to tell. The press conference had gone exactly as planned. Headlines worldwide read, Nobel laureate thwarts family's attempted research takeover, and scientific integrity triumphs over nepotism, at Harrison Biotech. I sat in my new office at the University Medical Center, watching the morning news coverage. The reporter was standing outside Harrison Biotech's now quiet building. In a stunning development, Nobel Prize winner Dr. William Harrison Jr. revealed that his groundbreaking research was conducted independently from the family company. Harrison Biotech's stock has dropped 68% since the announcement. A knock at my door interrupted the broadcast. Dr. Winters entered, carrying a thick folder. The legal team just finished reviewing everything, she said. Your patents are ironclad. Harrison Biotech has no claim to any of the breakthrough research. I nodded, turning off the TV. And the new lab setup, fully operational. The team's already running the next phase of trials. Without corporate interference, we're moving faster than ever. My phone buzzed, another message from the board of Harrison Biotech. Their fourth attempt to negotiate, since yesterday. I ignored it. Sir, Dr. Winters hesitated. Your father's in the lobby. He's been there for 2 hours. I sighed. Security. Following protocol. He can't access any research areas, but he's not causing trouble, just waiting. I checked my calendar. The Nobel Committee had scheduled a preliminary briefing in an hour, standard procedure for new laureates. Let him up, I decided. 10 minutes. While waiting, I reviewed the morning's research data. The cellular regeneration protocol was showing even better results in the new facility. Without Harrison Biotech's bureaucracy, we were making breakthroughs daily. My father looked older when he entered. His usual confident stance was gone, replaced by something more hesitant. The board fired me, he said, without preamble. Unsurprising, they needed a scapegoat for the stock crash. He sat heavily in the visitor's chair. Patricia left, took Marcus to Europe. Apparently, a failed biotech executive isn't as attractive as a successful one. I continued reviewing data reports, letting him sit in silence. The research, he finally said. How long have you been working separately? Since the day you missed Mom's memorial service, because Patricia had tickets to the opera. I looked up. That's when I knew where your priorities lay. He flinched. I never meant to destroy the company, to hand groundbreaking research to an unqualified stepson, to betray everything Mom and Grandfather built. I closed my laptop. And yet, here we are. The university offered you a whole department. I nodded. Complete autonomy, unlimited funding. My team stays intact, and we continue our work without interference. And Harrison Biotech can continue its pharmaceutical testing work. That's all they actually own. My phone buzzed again. The Nobel Committee coordinator was on her way up. Our time was running out. Why didn't you just tell me, he asked, about the separate research? The same reason you didn't tell me about planning to install Marcus. We stopped trusting each other the day you decided your new family was more important than scientific integrity. Sarah appeared at the door. Dr. Harrison, Stockholm is waiting. My father stood slowly. Your mother's journals, they're still in my office. At home, she'd want you to have them. Have them sent here, I replied, gathering my things. And Dad, the next time you decide to give away someone's life work, make sure they don't have a backup plan. After he left, Dr. Winters returned with the latest trial results. The stem cell response rates are unprecedented. Without corporate restrictions, we're seeing possibilities we never imagined. I reviewed the data. She was right. We were moving into uncharted scientific territory. The Nobel Committee will want to see this, I noted. It proves we're just getting started. My phone lit up with a news alert. Harrison Biotech was announcing massive layoffs. Marcus had resigned as executive director after less than 24 hours. Should we offer positions to any of their research staff? Dr. Winters asked. The ones who weren't involved in the takeover attempt. Yes, good scientists shouldn't suffer for bad management. The Nobel Committee coordinator arrived, bringing with her the whirlwind of preparations for Stockholm. Press schedules, presentation requirements, protocol briefings, the machinery of science's highest honor was in full motion. Dr. Harrison, she began, your discovery is being hailed as the biggest breakthrough in regenerative medicine this century. The committee is particularly impressed with how you protected the research integrity. I thought about the years of careful planning, the secret labs, the separate trials, all while maintaining a convincing facade at Harrison Biotech. Scientific truth doesn't care about family politics, I replied. Sometimes you have to protect it from those who should have been protecting it themselves. As the day wound down, I received one final message from my mother's old research partner. Saw the news. Margaret would have loved this. She always said the science comes first. You proved her right. Looking out over my new domain, state-of-the-art labs, dedicated researchers, unlimited potential, I realized that losing Harrison Biotech had actually set us free. They had tried to steal my research. Instead, they had given me the perfect opportunity to show the world what real scientific integrity looks like. The Nobel Prize was just the beginning. 6 months after the Nobel announcement, I stood in Stockholm's Grand Hall preparing to deliver my acceptance speech. The past months had been a whirlwind of breakthroughs, accolades, and vindication. My mother's journal sat on the podium delivered as promised, though not by my father. Dr. Winters had retrieved them along with Mom's original research notes. They'd proved invaluable in our latest discoveries. 5 minutes, Dr. Harrison, the ceremony coordinator whispered. In the audience, I could see the faces of my research team, the loyal scientists who'd helped maintain our secret work while presenting a convincing facade at Harrison Biotech. They'd all received substantial bonuses from our new university funding. Notably absent were my father, Patricia, and Marcus. Last I'd heard, they were in Switzerland, trying to start a new biotech venture, without success. Distinguished colleagues, I began my speech. Science has always been about truth, not family names, not corporate interests. Truth. The hall fell silent. 10 years ago, my mother made a discovery. A small observation about cellular regeneration that most dismissed. But she saw something others missed. She died before she could pursue it, but she left me her research notes and a simple message: protect the science. I opened her journal to a marked page. When forces beyond the laboratory threatened this work, I didn't just protect it. I built a fortress around it. Every experiment, every discovery, every breakthrough was secured. Not for profit, not for fame. For truth. In the front row, Dr. Winters smiled. She'd been there from the beginning, helping construct our parallel research operation. Today I'm announcing that our team has made another breakthrough. Using the principles that won this prize, we've developed a method to regenerate neural tissue. The implications for treating neurological disorders are beyond anything we imagined. The hall erupted in murmurs. This was supposed to be a standard acceptance speech, not a major scientific announcement. The patents and protocols are already secured, I continued. Not under any corporate umbrella, but through our University Research Foundation. Available to any institution willing to maintain scientific integrity over profit. My phone buzzed in my pocket, undoubtedly Harrison Biotech's board, realizing what they'd lost. Again. My grandfather founded Harrison Biotech to pursue scientific truth. My mother continued that mission. When others forgot these principles, we didn't fight, we didn't argue. We simply protected the science. The audience rose in a standing ovation, not just for the Nobel Prize or the new breakthrough but for the victory of scientific integrity over corporate greed. After the ceremony, during the reception, Dr. Winters brought me an interesting piece of news. Harrison Biotech filed for bankruptcy, she said quietly. The board is facing shareholder lawsuits for failing to detect our separate research operation. I sipped my champagne. And the research staff, most have already accepted positions with our new foundation. The good ones anyway. The ones who chose science over politics. My phone showed a missed call from my father, then another. Then a text, "You've destroyed everything." I showed it to Dr. Winters. Should I respond? She shook her head. The Nobel Prize already did. Later that evening in my hotel suite, I reviewed the latest data from our neural regeneration trials. The results were extraordinary, beyond even our optimistic projections. A knock at the door interrupted my work. A courier with an urgent package from home. Inside was a single photograph, my mother in her lab, holding a young me, both of us laughing at some forgotten joke. On the back, in my father's handwriting. I forgot what this looked like. Science and family in harmony. I'm sorry, too little too late, but at least he finally understood. My phone lit up with another news alert. Our university foundation had just received a $2 billion research grant. The future of regenerative medicine would be guided by science, not surnames. Looking out over Stockholm's winter lights, I thought about legacy, not the Harrison name, which my father had tried so hard to control, but the legacy of discovery, of protection, of truth. My mother's journal lay open on the desk, her final entry visible. Science doesn't care about names or titles. It cares about truth. Protect it. William, no matter what. I had, and I always would. The Nobel Prize wasn't just a validation of our research, it was a victory for every scientist who'd ever had to protect their work from forces that cared more about profit than progress. Tomorrow we'd return to our labs, to our breakthroughs, to our mission. They had tried to take my research, instead they'd helped create something far more powerful. A fortress of scientific integrity that would outlast any family name. The truth had won, just as Mom always said it would. 1 year after Stockholm, I stood in our new Global Research Center, watching teams of scientists work in perfect harmony. The facility, funded by our Nobel winnings and research grants, represented everything we'd fought to protect. The latest issue of Science magazine lay on my desk, our neural regeneration breakthrough on the cover. Below it, a smaller headline caught my eye. Harrison Biotech assets acquired by University Foundation. Poetic justice, Dr. Winters commented, entering my office. We now own the building where they tried to take your research. The irony wasn't lost on me. The same boardroom where Marcus had been appointed my boss would now host our foundation's meetings. Any word from the family? She asked carefully. Patricia and Marcus started a wellness consultancy in Geneva. It's failing. I checked my phone. Father's been teaching basic chemistry at a community college. He actually seems happier. Our conversation was interrupted by an urgent call from the neural lab. Another breakthrough, the regeneration protocol was showing promise in all. Your mother's original theory, Dr. Winters smiled. She predicted neural applications. I picked up Mom's journal, now well-worn from constant reference. Her insights, once dismissed by Harrison Biotech as too experimental, were proving prophetic. Sir, my assistant called through the intercom. The WHO committee is here for the protocol review. Before heading to the meeting, I paused at our lobby's new installation, a wall of digital displays, showing real-time research data from our global partners. Universities, hospitals, research centers, all using our protocols, all sharing results openly. This is what science should look like, I told the WHO representatives. Transparent, collaborative, protected from interference. They nodded approvingly. Our foundation had become a model for research integrity worldwide. After the meeting, I received an unexpected email from Marcus. You were right, he wrote. I never understood the science, but I understand integrity now. Congratulations on the Alzheimer's breakthrough. I archived it without responding. Some bridges once burned should stay that way. Dr. Winters appeared with more trial results. The regeneration rates are exceeding all projections. The Nobel Committee is calling it the breakthrough of the decade. No, I corrected her. It's the breakthrough my mother started. We just protected it long enough to finish. Looking out over our research floor, I saw dozens of scientists, many former Harrison Biotech employees, working freely, unburdened by corporate agendas or family politics. My phone showed another missed call from father. This time I answered. I saw the Alzheimer's news, he said quietly. Your mother's theory was right all along. I finished. She just needed someone to protect it. After a pause, he added, the community college is looking for guest lecturers. If you're ever interested, send the details to my office, I replied. Some wounds heal slowly, but they do heal. That evening, reviewing the day's research data, I found myself reading Mom's final journal entry again. Science doesn't care about names or titles. It cares about truth. Protect it, William. No matter what, we had protected it, and now that protected truth was changing the world. They had tried to steal my research, instead they'd helped create something unstoppable. A global network of scientific discovery, protected from those who would control it for profit or pride. The truth had won, and it would keep winning, one breakthrough at a time. End of story.